afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. It's your boy Goke Tyro, C89 Tiger House. Thank you very much for subscribing on our show and watching our shows and stuff. We really appreciate for about that. Today is a Sunday moment. We have our C89 crew over here as well as national president because we're trying to celebrate Mrs. Gbemisola Oladejo new Ologun's life. She was an EXO on the 89 set as well as the national EXO, and unfortunately she passed away last week. It was a very somber moment for everybody. We were very, very upset and sad, and a lot of us cried, including myself, because she actually brought all of us together. And since 2016, when we actually came together as a group and stuff like that. So, without much ado, I'll pass it over to Ife to introduce everybody, and we'll go from there. So, Ife, take it away.
Good evening, everyone from Lagos, UK. Thank you for staying up to be with us. This is one of our very unusual episodes, but it's not always a bad thing. It's a special edition to actually recognize fallen commando, a great sister, a servant, a giver. She gave everything she had to her last breath. But our classmates are here today to just celebrate her. The national president is here too. We want to, for me personally, I got to meet Gbemisola. Sorry if I get a little emotional, but I got to meet Gbemisola myself 2019 when I came for the 30th anniversary. So briefly introduce yourselves, then we will get to this whole package. I'll be asking some few questions about Gbemisola, okay? We are Pauline. Pauline, please quickly introduce yourself.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Pauline Uboke. I was in Scorpion House, the same house with Gbemisola, and I reside in Rivers State.
Thank you. The 89 state president, incumbent president, Oladejo Akiwowo.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Folashade Akiwowo Oyelade, class of 89, Scorpion House.
Thank you. Monserrat Parker.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Monserrat Adenike Adedotu Parker. I was in Finance House, 89 set. I'm the current social secretary for 89 set. Thank you.
Joseph Adeyemo.
Yeah, good evening all. I'm Joseph Adeyemo, General Secretary, class of 89. I was in Dragon House.
And my sister from a long distance mother, Madam President.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone from wherever you'll be watching this from. My name is Taiwo Ajishefini, class of 1985, Dragon House, and the current president of the Command Secondary School Lagos All Students Association.
Thank you. So I will start with Folashade. Please, I want everybody to take a minute or two to describe how Gbemisola Oladejo ni Ologun, what she meant to you. So, Folashade, I want you to take the floor first.
Okay, thank you, Ife. I got to know Gbemisola in Command Secondary School. She was in my dormitory. And then we were like, hello, hi, how are you doing? But I came closer to her when the platform was created. Then I was not active, I was just there. Then sometime in 2017, if I can remember, Gbemisola was then the social director. And she wanted to create a platform for, she wanted to set up a committee rather for an outreach. She said benevolence. So she called me. Then I was in China, and she said, "Shadi, please, I want you to be part of this committee." I said, "I'm not being, I'm not active on the platform. How can I?" She said, "No, Shadi, you can do it because we've been talking, then, but it was not regular." Then she'd asked me who I really wanted to work with. I just told her at that time that okay, she could just put anybody. I could work with anybody. And then we worked together. Then it was wonderful. It was wonderful. And then she told me that, "Shadi, I never knew you could do all this, but every committee that she wants to create, she was going to put me." And then one thing led to another. We were talking every other day, and then we became closer. And even when I'm busy with my stuff, or I'm in China, or I'm in Vietnam, or I'm anywhere in the world, Mommy would call me to check on me. "Shadi, how far? I've not heard from you for days. What is happening to you?" Then I'll tell her it's because I'm not in the country or something. So she was always contacting me. And I just liked her from there. And then I just liked her because of her, she was very nice, and then from there, whenever we have any event, I would pick her up. We would go to the event together because she would drag me that, "Shadi, you have to attend this event, So I'll pick her up, we'll go together, I'll drop her again. So we became very, very close. We could discuss a lot of things together. And I got to know her husband, I got to know our kids. I got to know her house. At times I'm there. So I don't know. She did the operation and it was successful. So we rejoiced. We even did the Thanksgiving. We thought that was the end of it. But, unfortunately, when she fell ill, I didn't know the nature of the sickness. Initially, she said it was malaria. Then we kept calling, and then before we knew it, we heard that she had passed on. So Gbemisola meant a lot to me. She was a darling. She was a rare gem. She was someone that I would miss so much. I mean, she's someone that I would miss so much, so much. And I know that C89 will really miss her because I know of her impact in every life. And I want to say this. For me, a successful person is not determined by how much you have in your bank account or how much affluence you can, flaunt. A successful person, to me, is the number of people you've been able to impact in life. And I think Gbemisola has demonstrated that. I would say she has been successful because of the people she has impacted in her lifetime. Though short, but then she lived well. She lived a well-meaning life. And I know we all miss her. And I know that she's resting in the bosom of God right now. And all I can say is that she has gone to rest. That is just the consolation right now, that she's gone to rest. It is well. It is well.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you very much. Pauline,
Yes.
you might have taken a couple of minutes, describe what Gbemisola meant to you.
Okay. Like I said in the last show, I joined command in 1985, and Gbemisola and I started from them because we were in the same dormitory, and we're both petite right from school. So she didn't talk much. She was a very private person. She straight up, whatever she wants to do, she just tells you that's what she wants to do. But when we now left school, and I found out that she was in the ex-school, Gbemi was always calling and asking me about my welfare, especially about the welfare of I would describe, just like my brother Lucky Babs would say, she was a superwoman, embodiment of possibilities. She was a servant, she was a fighter, she was receptive, she was there for everybody. There's nobody that will come across Gbemisola that will remain the same. There's something about her, just like my president just said. She, when we're talking about wealth, Gbemisola was a very wealthy woman because of the people that she immersed around her. She touched everybody's life. She wanted to know what was happening. She knew how to get A or B to attend to C. She was just, I still find it difficult to describe who she was. But you know, for a leader, when you say one is a leader, you're there to serve. Gbemisola served even in the condition that she was. It was just painful that in the time of her pain, I had a little knowledge of what she was going through, but I didn't know the depth of what she was going through, and it was so shocking to hear that she had gone to be with the Lord. She has created a voice that no other person can ever replace. She was fondly loved. We still miss her. We still talk about her. I don't know. I
Thank
don't
you.
know.
Thank you so much, Paul. That's correct.
Thank you. Well, like Gbemisola and Shadi had reiterated, I knew Gbemi right from school, but like they said, she was very quiet. I wasn't the quiet type, so I knew almost everybody. She was very quiet, very easygoing. And we got to link up again when our platform was created. And one thing that stood out for Gbemi was that when she wants to do something, there's no going back.
Okay.
When she wants to organize something, she will carry everybody along. She did not know if you are a millionaire or a pauper or a billionaire. No, nothing like that. For Gbemi, as long as you're a human being, she's ready to be with you. That was Gbemi. And I know that most times I'm not on a platform. I'm doing sometimes throughout the day I'm driving. Sometimes 2-3 weeks I will not even show up on the platform. Someone will call. So I hope you're alright. You could see Kokon. I just said, let me find out what's wrong. I said, sister, I say anything. I'm just busy. That was the kind of person Gbemi was. She was always asking after people. She was like a glue that gummed its mindset together. Somebody mentioned something during our service of songs that she was C89 mother. That was what she was. She was like a mother hen. She was always reaching out. It's just sad that at our last moment we were not there to do what we would have loved to do, because not that we did not want to do, we did not know, and that is the most painful part. Very painful, because some of us were reaching out. We kept on calling. I know I called about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and she picked our call. Normally when I call, she will not pick. She just keep on ringing, but she picked. I said, Gbemi, what's wrong? And the person said that you're not feeling fine. She said, yes, that is just malaria, and that she's getting better now. In fact, that she has resumed. But that particular day, she didn't go to school because she wanted to relax. I said, very good, you need to relax, Gbemi. Your wala is too much, I didn't have any inkling that she was going through so much. I didn't at all. So that is the painful part, very painful. Because Gbemisola was the social secretary before I became the social secretary of our set. And immediately I became the social secretary, she was very supportive, very, very. Sometimes she would call me and say, Monso, you do it like this, so do it like this, so do it like, she would keep on giving me ideas and everything. Really, she's going to be missed. She's going to be missed. I just pray that God consoles her husband and her kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Monsieur. Joseph.
Yeah. Well, while in command, Gbemi and I were not that close. I was on the quiet side, so I have very few friends, even though they were those who call jugununs, if you can remember that word. So we were not close at all. I was not close with Gbemi, but I knew her from a distance. But in the year 2000, that should be about, I think, 11 years ago. 11 years after leaving command, I got a job with Command Day Secondary School, Ushudi, as a teacher. I've been teaching there for, I think, a few years, but I didn't recognize Gbemi. I didn't, it was very funny, and I was embarrassed at the end because how could I have not recognized a fellow commando? So after 3 months of teaching there, somebody just tapped me on the shoulder one afternoon. I turned. Okay, I recognized her as one of the teachers, my fellow teachers. I said, "Good afternoon." She just said, "Joseph Adeyemo, so you mean you don't know me?" I stared at her very well. I just screamed, "Gbemi Ologun." Wow. I now saw her very well and I recognized that. So I had to start apologizing that, sorry, me, once I'm in my physics lab, I don't, I'm like your old school scientist. Just be in the lab and be doing your thing. So, but from that day, we became friends. And we became very, very close. And, she's always teasing me because there were some escapades I was involved in.
Even as a teacher?
You are not carrying share in the physics lab.
There was this Naija thing, that went on while I was in command. So, but after, I think 2015, she talked to me about the platform, the C89 platform. I joined. On the C89 platform, I tried to be a gentleman, but Gbemi was always exposing me. You understand? Yeah. But I'm sure I'm going to miss her. Immediately people talk about Alaja and all those escapades, Gbemi comes to mind. She's a beautiful soul. And it's not because we are classmates. A day before it was announced that she passed on, around 11 in the night, one of my former colleagues at Command Oshodi called me and said, "Shebi Gbemi is your classmate?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Do I know that Gbemi has not been in school, at work, for the past 1 month?" I was alarmed. Is it that serious? So it was around 11, so I didn't want to disturb Gbemi. I decided, okay, the next day I will call her. But the next day, in the morning, the bombshell came. Bola called me. Oladejo, something just left me. A friend was gone. Gbemi, we call her small but mighty. She looks fragile, but she's a dynamite. She touched every soul she met. I remember I'm always very active on C89, but there was 1 week like that I was not on for like 1 week, yes. 1 week, 7 days. I was sick then. Gbemi was the first person to call me. She's like that. We are going to miss her. Let me just stop here before I get emotional. Thank you very much.
All right, Joseph, thank you. Madam President.
Okay. Where do I start, Gbemi? I got to know Gbemi in 2017 when we started forming the group for the election that was going to take place in 2018. Then, we were getting people from different sets for the different positions. And I remember it was Oladejo who suggested Gbemi, and he informed me that at that particular time she was the welfare secretary for the class of 89 and that she was doing a fantastic job. She was hardworking, and he said he was very sure that would have a very good relationship. So that's how Gbemi came on board. Even as a group, when we were, strategizing and making the plans for the election and everything, she was active. Whenever we'd have meetings, organizing food, drinks, and things like that. So she already started to function in her role even before she was elected as welfare officer. And then, of course, she came on as the welfare officer, and she was just awesome. She was fantastic. She would take care of every necessary need for all of our meetings, whether it was for the EXCO, BOT and EXCO, whether it was with set reps or, AGMs, the alumni as a whole. And I found that we got on very well because, she was someone she was very plain speaking and very hardworking. So there wasn't any task that you'd give Gbemi that, she wouldn't complete. And when I got the news on Monday, I remember someone called me and they said, "Have you heard?" And I said, "Heard what?" And they said, "Gbemi has died." And I'm like, "Which Gbemi?" And they said, "Gbemi, your welfare officer." And I said, "No, not my Gbemi, no." And the person said, so I asked for more information, and they said, the person that called them said they would call them back. I said, "Go and clarify because I'm sure it's not her, And then after about an hour or so, I got another call from someone who said, "Madam President, have you heard?" And I'm like, "Oh my God." And it was Gbemi. I'm still in shock. I still can't believe it. Just this morning, I woke up and I was like, "Gbemi, where is she? Where has Gbemi gone?" Because as most of you have said, I didn't know she was unwell. I didn't know. I didn't have that information at all. School, the list were waiting, and when the child got in, I contacted her. "Gbemi, success, please ensure you get in touch with the parents. They've got to go to the school, pick up the letter and start to put things in place." And she was so happy. "Thank you, Madam President. Okay, I'm going to get in touch with them now," and all of that. And, it's so sad that, as you've all said, when she would have really needed us, we were not there. Not because we didn't want to, but because we didn't know. But I had to actually deal with that personally and understand that we all deal with things differently. So I would love to believe that there was a reason why, a lot of people were not aware, So she lived a good life. She did touch so many lives. On Facebook, the comments that have been made by people who said Gbemi touched their lives in different ways. It's just amazing that, she was able to do that, especially with what she was going through. It's really amazing. And one thing that stands out is that Gbemi had a relationship with each and every one. So it wasn't as if Gbemi was a friend. She actually had a relationship. So each person can say, "This is where Gbemi factored in my life." So it wasn't a case of, "Oh, we're a group and, oh yeah, I know her, talk to her sometimes." No, she actually touched each and everyone in a specific way. Each person can actually say, "This is how Gbemi touched my life." So it's, there's this saying, they say, "Oh, the good ones die." They always go first or something like that. But I believe that she fulfilled her purpose. She was here for a reason. She fulfilled that purpose, and now she's gone. It's sad that she's no longer with us. But I think she has left such a legacy that we now need to build on. I was just talking to a friend of mine this morning that we need to do something different as human beings. It's the norm that when someone dies, we come and we say a lot of wonderful things about that individual. why don't we flip it and do that while that person is alive? Because I'm sure it will be much more treasured by the individual when they're around to hear people say, because a lot of times, we don't even know what we've done in someone's life until we're told. So that was just something that I was just, thinking about. But yeah, Gbemi, awesome human being. She lived well.
So, Madam President,
I just wanted to,
yeah, go ahead.
I just, as a CA9 person, I definitely should say my own.
Say, of course, yes.
Exactly. So for me, generally, in command, I was very quiet, and Gbemi was a quiet person. So I couldn't really, remember until 2016 when the group got together, especially because we had a platform on Facebook, but it wasn't as active until we got on WhatsApp. And I remember Kenekadi was one who got me added to the C89 in 2016, I think early 2016. Then I remember on June 11 or 12, she called me. I was studying for a professional exam that time, and I happened to take a break from my studies, walking around. My phone rang, and it was Gbemi, and she was like, "Hey, Goke, how are you? Do you remember me?" And she reintroduced herself to me, and we were chit-chatting and stuff. And she was asking me, when did I come to Nigeria last, and just asking questions. And then she now said, "Oh, we're also gathering information." I think it was June 12th, yeah, because she was like, "We're trying to find out birthdays." And I'm like, "Really?" I said, "Tomorrow is my birthday." And she now screamed. She goes, "You see, I have the spirit." And I called, because it was weird how she called me a day before my birthday. And she was like, "I need pictures, I need pictures, I need pictures." I'm like, "Do you really want?" She goes, "Yes, I'm going to put it out there, and we're going to celebrate you." Gbemi celebrated everybody's birthday in our set. She would put pictures, she would request from everybody, and it was amazing. One of the beautiful things that Gbemi did too is, bringing everybody together, both those at home and in the diaspora. And when I met her in person, in that same 2016, in August, I came to Nigeria for my dad's funeral, and she actually came for a lot of commandos came, and she came there at Ojo Cantonment, where we buried my dad, to come and talk to me, and we were gisting, and we started building a relationship there. Then I think 2 weeks later, it's a nice I had this exercise thing in Surulere, and she embarrassed me a bit because what's her name? Bossa Orosheni came to say hello to me, and I just said, hello. I didn't recognize her. So when we were taking a walk later, she came to me and said, "Okay, I was watching you. When Bossa came and said hello to you, you just gave her a Cabernet hello." And I was like, and because Bossa uses a different name now, right? And she goes, I can't remember what her name is, but I still call her Bossa. And she goes, "It's Bossa." Evelyn, thank you. So she now said, "It is Bossa, your friend in Tiger House, that you guys used to talk together." And I looked at her like, why are you watching me in command? She goes, "Okay, I used to watch you in command. That's your friend. Go on." So I had to go back to Evelyn and apologize and hug her. And she was looking at me and I said, "Can you just tell me?" It was funny. And the funny thing is that she followed me there to watch that. And everything, I was looking at her like, so I was apologizing to her. Bossa remembers now. And I say, "You changed name. Which was Evelyn? I didn't know who you were." So it is Bossa and stuff like that me I remember. So she Bossa started laughing, and she goes, "Okay, forget." She was like, because she said when the way I greeted her, that she was like, all these Yankee boys and stuff. I said, "No, I didn't. No vex. I can't remember everybody. And stuff like that. Even with Monsura. When I heard Ronke, I'm like, who is Ronke back in there? It's Monsura we know as. So when you start changing name, you understand? I understand the last name change, but first name, like, it doesn't. I can't.
The name has been there.
But you didn't use the name. You didn't use the name command. So that will not register to me. Yes, sir, is, the name you use in command will register and stuff. So that was how she embarrassed me, Sha, on that part. But but and after that, she started calling me and we talk from time to time. And sometimes if I'm not on the phone, she will call. I'm like, she will like, Hakim is always on the phone. I say, Hakim likes to be on the phone 24 so me are different. And Akim has his own business. Akim can go whenever he wants. Me, I have to wake up early to go, so she started laughing and stuff like that. So those are my fond memories of Gbemisola, and stuff like that. She really brought all of us together. We really appreciate her, and she would go for everybody's event, be very supportive, and stuff like that. So we really appreciate her. And even Hakim's older brother said it on Thursday, on that aspect in regards to bringing everybody together for their dad's funeral, supporting because Hakim couldn't come at that time. So we really appreciated her. She really was, as they said earlier here, the mother of 89 said, an angel that came and was very supportive, and even if there are little fights there, she would be trying to kind of working to resolve it and a lot of things. So even though I don't talk that much, I observe what's happening from time to time and stuff. So yeah, that's my own little contribution.
Oh wow, cool. It's a lot. All right, I have one question for you all, and this is very deep. I want you guys to take a minute to respond. I'll start with Madam President, Taiwo. If you could talk to Gbemi right now, what would you say to her?
I wouldn't want to.
I thought it was deep.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to ask her a question. I would just want to say to her that I love her.
Okay, that's good enough. Pauline, same question. You still there? Is Pauline still there?
I'm still here.
Yeah, same question. If you had the chance to talk to Baby one more time, what would you say to her?
I'll say she should stay with me.
You say what? I can't hear you. We can't hear you.
But I still want her to stay with me. I still want to have her around.
Thank you. Follow,
If I have to say anything to Baby right now, I'll just tell her that I miss her. I miss her calls. Wish she was still alive. Wish she was still here.
Thank you. Mansour.
I could talk to Gbemi one more time. I would ask her a question, but I would say thank you first. I will thank her for, it's unfortunate she had to die for me to realize it, but I will thank her for making me know that I have to live better. She has made me reevaluate my life several times since the day I heard she had died. So I want to thank her. I want to thank her for helping me to reevaluate things, the way I stand with my God and everything. But I also have loved to ask her why. Why did you go back until it ended like that? Because that was not what Penny was. Penny was always there for anybody that needed help. So I would have asked her why. Why did you go without, allowing us to love you a bit more? That's just it. That's just it.
Thank you. Joseph.
I don't want to repeat what others have said. I will have asked these same questions, but in addition to that, I will have also asked her to teach me how to touch so many lives from one spot. So there's some touching lives across the world. So I will have asked her to teach me how to touch people's hearts or how to touch people's lives the way she did. Because there was nobody like me on sleep. People are loving and Gbemi was exceptional. So I would have loved her to teach me how she did it. Thank you.
Okay. Anything?
Yeah. For me, it would be I'll thank her for her selfless servant leadership. And how she coordinated not just C89, but the national EXO, bringing herself forward to do a lot for a lot of people and, being there all the time, either physically or even communicating with us for us there in the diaspora, talking to Boy Guy and Kelly Phillip and Koijo last week, and how much she impacted us for us that live in the diaspora. She was selfless, and we appreciate that. So I'll tell her thank you for that. And also to our family, because knowing that she was someone who was married and also have kids, that she also being a mother, being a wife, but at the same time being very active in the command community was very impressive.
Good. I have one other question. Just to be on a brighter note, let's put some fun into this. I'll start with Folashade. What will be your most fun memories of Gbemisola?
Memories.
Amala,
I remember whenever we are going to any event like that, she'll just say, Shade, please branch. There's no particular amount to join. I want to take this thing. I will like bring it, please. We are getting this.
That's my kind of girl, man. That's my kind of girl.
We have to stop. We have to branch that joint. Calm down. Even though there was even a particular day we were to go for Sheye's dad's burial at, Lekki. We were late already. She said, Shade, please, Amala. So we came down, and then it was like fish. She was just picking and picking. And Juliana was with us, and she was like, "Effing begiri seal." You know what I did was I just brought out, because of that, I just brought out my phone and I was just recording. And that's what I do. Whenever she just makes me to branch, I'll take pictures or do a recording of her eating amala or something, and it became fun. It became the usual thing. Whenever we are out there, we take pictures, and then she will come to the platform with her own pictures, or maybe of me. She will post it and come to my page and say, Shadi, I've just posted your picture now. Go and check. And she said, you should talk. Tit for tat. She you posted my own the other time. And we have just started. If she will continue, she will just be, she could be very naughty at times. She will just be like that. She wanted me to talk, of course. And at the end of the day, I'll just come to her page and say, let me please, I give up. Just let it go. And she'll be like, oh, it's a liar. I show it to that kind of thing. I miss that part of her. I mean, there's nobody to.
Anything else, Shadi?
That, and then she had always put me in every committee. She's the social director, so if there's any incoming event, she'll have to create a committee for that. So I'd always been working with her, and then it's been wonderful. I guess that was where I was being discovered. And I discovered myself as well, and I really want to thank her for that because she has done so much for me. I can't forget. Yeah, she's been wonderful.
Awesome. Joseph,
Yeah.
you probably want to share some of those escapades that she knows of.
Yeah, explain the Alaja thing because I've never understood that. Joseph, please explain that because I used to see that on the forum. I don't know what this Alaja thing is. Please explain that.
All right, Joseph.
Let me just be brief. While we were in command teaching, there was one Alaja.
She must be flying.
So you're still here, Naija. You're confessing now.
Yeah, you used to deny on the platform.
He was vice principal, academics. So when I came to command today, she just took me as a PA quote. Going around on her behalf, this after school lesson, document everything, put down names of teachers that taught, the number of periods, and all that. After the term, she'll be the one in charge of payments, and she was not in the good books of teachers. Such people are not always, because teachers are always short paid and all that. And because I was more or less like the PA, people like me were always looking at me. You and Alaja, what people are doing in this school? And unfortunately, I was not getting anything extra. But she was just, I was a new teacher. I was the one to use.
Okay, Joseph, wait. Confess, we're not going to record that. We'll do it. Confess.
You're a single bachelor then now.
There was this way around that I had something to do with Alaja. Because matters. Because when she's giving an example of good and loyal teachers, she will use more as an example.
Now we're talking.
I see why maybe you have the anyhow now.
So when I came on the net platform, I had this very interesting story about my and my detractors on my friends, or let me just say friends on that platform started trolling me. People started adding salt and sugar and Maggi to their larger story. In fact,
so the bottom line, Alaja made you a household name in 89 states.
Exactly.
True, baby.
So Gbemi was the author.
The catalyst.
So once you mention Alaja, Gbemi really comes to mind. I will really miss her. Thank you.
Wow. I really feel more fun memories. DMO, after this show, you tell me I'm going to the OG stuff, Alaja, okay? Let's go ahead. Pauline,
My funnest moment where when I'm not even ready, she made me come back to Lagos all the time. Gbemi is very creative. She's very creative, just like Joseph said. She has a way of just that setting up things, and then you just believe, and you find out that she was just making them all up, and it just comes to stay. So every visit, Gbemi was instrumental to my coming to Lagos. Even when it was not convenient, she was always there. Our trips at the beach. Then the most memorable was when I was in Lagos and I was supposed to go stay with my friend somewhere in BGC. And then Gbemi said, "You're not going anywhere. See command here. See where you're going to. You're going to stay in my house." That experience I keep replaying. I don't know what she told her daughters, but I just know that that night the girl, they were all over me. My mommy said, "You people did this." They were asking questions about school and all that. I saw Gbemi in a different light. I guess that was my most memorable, apart from all the visits. Every visit meant so much to me. The moment I want to embark on the journey. Funny enough, I just came back from Lagos. Ordinarily, I would have called her Gbemi, mo ti gbéra o, mo wà lọ́nà. She'll call you, Ibo lo ti dé, Ibo lo wà. Nobody did that this time around apart from Monsura. Nobody. I miss that. But those are my fondest memories. The times I came to Lagos and I spent with her. The times at the beach and all.
So all that time you spent in Lagos, did you go to any Amala joint?
Oh yes, there was one. Last she knows I love Amala. There's no time I come to Lagos, but I don't eat Amala. I'm not complete. But this time I didn't eat Amala because I didn't have the time to eat Amala. My Amala partner just bade me farewell without them.
No, don't talk about Amala. Some people here don't like Amala. No talk too much.
No.
Mention the name. I don't Amala. I'm not ashamed. There are options. There's jollof rice. There's eba. There's pounded yam. There's what's it, brown rice. I don't like Amala, but that was my dad's best food. It's interesting, but I never liked it.
Let me tell you, 30th anniversary, and we were told we had gone to the orphanage and we were coming back. Rather than they were waiting for us at the hotel, we all just said, "Oh, the Amala bandits," just said Amala James. They were waiting for us. We just went to one. I don't know. Joseph, you help me here. You are amongst us, so we just went to this point and we just sat down and we're eating Amala, and they were waiting for us. We were holding the program back. We met Amala very well before we now went back for the program, and we were actually a bit late that day.
Oh, that's our 30th anniversary now. We went to old people's home, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Instead of coming back to the hotel, we stopped over at Amala. Somewhere in Mushin, right?
It was
Yes, I think that's the place.
That's my joint.
old people's owned by the Catholic Church. So there was one Amala joint around that.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. Babalola. I don't remember the name.
It's all the road.
Yes, I just know we even got lost because we didn't know how to come out. We had to get one of those boys to leave us out of the place. After eating Amala, yes. And then Hajara made us go back to go and buy her Amala. That's why did we not take her? We have a lot of us Amala bandits. Yes, we have a lot of us Amala bandits.
Wow.
And
okay.
We send an email address, okay?
All right.
Monsurat. Okay, Papa.
Well, fun moments with Baby were quite a lot. We were always, going for events together all the time, and it was fun. It was just fun being with Baby.
Yeah.
Corel, we settled it and everything.
I remember.
It was me. I'm just a woman and I call very well. Yes, Corel. Why are you doing like that? Shuraka, what's wrong with you? And it was fun being with Baby anyway. It was fun being with Baby. It was nice. We're always going to functions together. And like they say, me, I'm the Yomo. I don't eat Amala like them. I wonder why they are always eating Amala like that. Nice times.
Let me tell you about that Amala, the Mushin one of Babalola. Anytime I'm going to Nigeria, My people already know me. As they pick me up from the airport,
You're going there.
I'm going to that. Yes. Yes.
I'm
I have to eat that before I go home. Yeah.
Once you need to go there, I'm telling you, ask Joseph, he'll tell you. We had more than one place.
Just wait. This is okay. The next time I go to Nigeria, from airport, we'll go drag and go there. It will be
Thank you.
All right.
I have a funny story I remember right now, actually, as you guys were talking. In 2017, when I came for 40th anniversary to Nigeria. Monsura, you should remember that story because you are among that group. What?
No, it was the 40th. No,
40th. No, I came for the command 40th. So remember that Baikusi's mom passed away. That he had that stuff. So I remember I came. Yes, Suya and I came for that event. Then all of a sudden, one of you, either between Alaba, somebody had catfish to sell, right? And they came to ask me. Yeah. So one of you first asked me, hey, I should buy catfish, hey, I should take it to my wife to cook. And I'm looking at you people like, carry it to Yankee. Are you out of your mind? You remember that story? And I'm looking at you people like, then all of a sudden, Gbemi now pulled me and said, you are buying, that you will buy. You share it here. Then you are going to buy catfish whether you like it or not. You understand? And then because I was like, I'm not going to carry catfish to Yankee. Is it one that the harassment in the airport?
I do it all the time. I can't stay yourself.
My brother does that. I cannot come to Nigeria. I must take catfish to buy food.
I don't like it. I don't like having my bags smell because sometimes when you go to, you have them.
But you like eating.
There's catfish here. I'll buy catfish here. So anyway, I remember that she pulled me and said, "Okay, you are buying the catfish, whether you like it or not." So I now bought it and I gave it. I think I gave it to her or Alaba, one of you guys, because I think it was a trio. You guys were together, so I just bought it. It was by fire by force that she made me buy that catfish that day. You understand? But it was the way you guys said it that take it to Yankee. I'm looking at you like, which can take it to Yankee? I'm not taking anything. But I bought it. I just bought it that day. You understand? So I remember that fun moment in 2017.
That's Gbemi for you. That's Gbemi for you. That you don't want to do.
Yeah, she did. She made me buy the catfish.
Yes.
Is Mother President still there?
I'm here. I am here.
You're next.
Oh, okay. All right.
I know you work with Gbemi on the national level.
Yes.
One of a fun memory.
Oh yeah. Well, every time Gbemi was around, it was always lovely. That Monday when I got the call, all I could receive was just her and the way she would just come, Madam President, with her shrill voice, Madam President. What I could just remember, and for most of the times, like the meetings we had in Ikeja, for example, it would always be Gbemi and myself who would go out to buy the food and the drinks for, those attending the meeting and all of that. So it was always a wonderful time with her. I remember our first AGM that took place at 81D, and she was meant to source the caterer for the event, and she came and she said, "Oh, Madam President, I found this lady who will be able to cook and all of that." And I remember turning to her to say, "Baby, please do not forget to get a receipt, because following all the hassle of the 40th anniversary." I said, "No, please make sure you get a receipt." And she stopped and she turned and she looked at me and she goes, "Madam President, yes, Sikira, to get receipt for tomatoes." She's not going to a store,
Of course, no, they don't have receipt.
She's not going to a store, She's not going to be able to get. I said, "Baby, let her write it down. Onions, peppers." What I said, if she cannot sign, let her put an X. But please come back with something to show that this is what we did with their money. That was, I would never forget that. It was just so funny. Madam President, where did she get a receipt from?
Wow, that's a good question, though. mean,
Yeah. No, Gbemi, she's just she's really very active, very, you just see her 1 minute she's here, the next she's there, and bringing people together. And now she had that gift. She was blessed. She had that gift. Yeah.
when I went to attend the 89th 30th anniversary, and I noticed that the little sister, I know she was talking to me, she was friendly, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know her name, so I couldn't ask anybody. So you could send me a picture. I took a picture, like a selfie with a bunch of other ladies behind me. Boke was in that picture too, and she was hiding at the corner. She's in that picture. So that was God remember, like, wow, that's the one. Yeah, I remember she kept talking to me, but I just couldn't remember her name. I didn't want to be rude because I knew she was in United States. But I knew she was very involved in the planning and everything. So with all that being said, I would really appreciate you guys coming out. If you guys have anything else to share, I have no more questions. Anything just random you want to share about before we wrap this up, please feel free.
Yes, I'd like to say something about what Madam President said about us trying to, tell people the way they are when they are alive, and not wait until they die before we start saying things.
Right.
It made me remember when we went to Gbemi's parents for the condolence visit, and then we heard we were talking about her and everything, what she was saying, and the sister and brothers, they were surprised. They were like, she's been they couldn't believe it.
Wow.
They couldn't believe the kind of impact she had made. And something also touched me, because I think one of them was with her phone after her demise, and they were seeing what we were writing on our group chat. They saw things they were reading. As everybody was writing, they were dropping messages they were reading, and the brother mentioned something on the day of our what do you call it, on Thursday, 7 of Songs. Thank you. He said when they were reading the messages we were dropping, and they thought, look, if we go and do this service of songs at the Ogba venue we wanted to do before, we would divest ourselves, because this girl seems, really was fantastic. It's okay that somebody has to die before you appreciate and understand the kind of impact the person Billy's death is not totally a lot of us. We are still dazed. It's just that I particularly, like I said earlier, it has allowed me now to reevaluate the way I am living.
Yes.
I'm the kind of person that takes so many things for granted. It's killing me. I take a lot of things for granted. I just do my thing. But it is not important to just do your thing anymore.
Yeah.
Women has taught me that it is important to touch people, no matter how little.
Yes.
And it has made me realize that money is not everything. You don't have to do money or start carrying money. No. Just a little hello. How are you? What is happening with you? We go a long way. Many people that have spoken about Benny, all they're talking about her is the way she reaches out, the way she asks after them. But Benny knows my son, my first son. Every time she calls him, I is my boyfriend, I is Samad, I is, she was able to have a personal relationship with everybody she knows. And that is what amazes me, and it's still amazing me about her. And I'm like, even the people that are in a little corner, I have not finished dealing with them. How am I going to,
reach out?
Yes. On the day of wake up, or whatever they call it, one of my friends called me, Titi Layuali, and said, okay, you are stepping into a very big shoe. I said, I cannot even fit into it, I'm telling you. Because really, I don't know where to start from. Because because that is not me normally. That is not me normally. As long as I'm hearing your voice, you're okay. Why should I have to reach out now? There's no point. I heard of Gbemi's death, and I went to see her parents and everything, and before, on Thursday, after her service of songs, all the people have not called in a very long time. I started calling them. Because I realized that I didn't know what will happen tomorrow. I mean,
Yes.
there tomorrow.
Yes.
And it just occurred to me that look at Gbemi, what shall we do? She's gone. So me and me, So I don't know. It has taught me a lot. It has taught me a lot. So may I so rest in peace.
Thank you.
Amen. I'd just like to say that I was very, very. It was so for me. I was sad that I couldn't physically be there because I kept saying Gbemi is not that kind of the exco. Every one of us has been affected, because she cuts across the different tenures. So because with the current welfare officer, she was able to give her support and direction and just basically hand over fantastically to Fatima. So, and I know all the others have been touched. I know those that they just could not speak, they were just crying, and for a lot of people it was like Gbemi. No, it can't be Gbemi. But we thank God for her life. And I must say that because I was able to be a part of the service of songs and the funeral via Zoom, my heart was full on Thursday when I saw the class of 89. And you know what, guys, you make me so proud. So proud how you all went out in your numbers, because what I saw on that day was a show of support for Gbemi's family. Because what you guys did was to show who Gbemi was. That was what you guys did on that day. You just showed Gbemi because she was a lover of people, and the love that she was able to share to every single person, you were able to reflect on that day. So it's sad that she's no longer with us, but I know she will always be on our lips. She will always be on our lips. And the wonderful relationship that we all have with her, I know, will go with us a very, very long way. A very long way. And I just pray that, with what her parents have been able to see and her siblings, they know that she lived a full life. She lived a full life. So.
I have a quick question for Shade and Mansoura. Who had the idea of that Gbemi shirt? And what was written at the back? I know I couldn't get it pretty well because I really liked that. Who came up with that? You guys, the fact that you guys had it printed that quick.
Close the name of the individual, but I think behind the T-shirt was written I love you. I love you. I love you. Yes, C89 loves you. Yes.
Okay.
C89 loves you at the back. It was one of our members that came up with the idea. It was a fine one. We said fine. We thought we can make it, let's do it. And we went ahead and we did it. And
that was quick. That was impressive, actually. I always tell people I'm proud to be part of C89 because you guys, it's more. No, it's true. It's a family. They engage a lot. They come up with ideas. They're very supportive. At the same time, they fight too.
That's
a typical family.
They fight. So just keep quiet.
I was actually traveling. I was driving when the service of the song was going on, so I was listening. Although the video was bad at first, I didn't want to have to watch it because I was driving, but I listened to at least 40 minutes of the whole program. Anybody else has anything to share before we wrap this up?
Okay. I just wanted to say, for me, Gbemi has left a foundation for all of us. Like Ronke said, that it took her passing for us to realize that we should all evaluate ourselves. All I just want to say is that for our family, that's the family of class of 89, Gbemi's demise, she expects us to continue to behave and live the way she wants us, the way she would have wanted us to live. That is to say, we should still be together. We should still act the way we want. What I'm trying to say yes, she's no longer here, but the things that she lived for and she represented, we should still continue to carry it on. That's the
Yes.
only way we can replicate the kind of person that she is. It's not just calling like we always say. Everything isn't money. Like I always tell people, wealth is not about money. It's about the people that surround you. And Gbemi was a very wealthy woman. She was a very wealthy woman. We've not even heard it all. We've not heard it all.
Sure.
This is just, I just think this is just a piece of what, there's more that we've not heard. So I just implore the class of 89, we should be tolerant with each other, and we should replicate what Gbemi represented. That's just my prayer for the class of 89, that we just replicate Gbemi, and then always remember that in anything we're doing, would Gbemi like us to do this? Would Gbemi like us to behave this way? How would Gbemi take it if she was here? That's just what I want.
Wow.
Can I just come in?
Go ahead, Shadow.
Quickly? Okay. I just want to say this, that Gbemi's life, or the kind of life she lived in her lifetime, and after her passing on, I think has made each and every one of us to realize how much to appreciate one another. Because I remember on the platform when she died, a lot of people were saying a lot of good things about her, and people began to see things in a different, from a different perspective. But oh wow, the kind of life Gbemi lived. One needs to, appreciate one another. Contact one another. Check up one another. Ask for the welfare and well-being of one another. The life she lived, has made everybody to realize and to begin to appreciate, one another. Because I also remember when myself, Mansour, and some other C89 went to Gbemi's father's house, the family house, the same day she died, the heart she died. And the siblings were surprised when we started telling them, the impact Gbemi has made, on the platform, and all that. The brother was I guess that was why they went through a phone. And I remember, because Gbemi taught me something a few years back, that Shade, if you want to know who read your message, just go to info, click on these, So, I don't know, that thing just came on me, while we're discussing, on Exco platform and all that. I just said, let me check. I just checked. I saw Gbemisola. Because I saw that name with Gbemisola Gbemi Command. I was like, I just read another message. I saw Gbemi Command. So I now realized that, somebody was actually reading all our messages, even on Exco platform, and I was like, God. I went to the main platform, same thing. I was like, God, I had to call Joseph. I said, Joseph, is that somebody was with baby's phone. What do you think you can do? He said we should remove the number.
Of course. Yeah.
We had to do that. So later on the day of the service of song, when the brother now mentioned it, that was when we got to know was even the brother that was on the phone. He was actually reading all the messages, and he read how people felt, how people were crying, how people were like, oh my baby, all this, all that. So he was moved. In fact, while he was, when he was on the stage, he was actually crying because he said they did appreciate Gbemi in our life.
Yeah.
Because he saw the way, C89 members appreciated her and all that. He was crying, and I really felt it. I felt it. And I think that has taught me a lesson to appreciate people no matter what. And that is what I got from it. And the life of Gbemi has taught us all a lot. And we will miss her. We'll miss her.
We will, definitely. We will.
Thank you so much.
So I want to say thank you very much to C89 President Shade Kinwolo, Monsurat Ronkepaka, Joseph Adeyemo, and our National President Miss Taiwo Vicini. Did I get that correct? Because she's gabbling
I'll send you.
Pauline, yes, thank you, my darling sister Pauline. Okay, thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate you coming to speak to and celebrating Gbemisola's life. We appreciate her both at home and in the diaspora. And this will be a special edition in regards to celebrating her life, and put it together and release it by the end of the week. So, if I take it away,
thanks guys back, Shade, Ronke, and Joseph. We'll bring you guys back on to commence on our regular show about sharing your command experiences and all that. All right. So I'll have it scheduled accordingly. But this was a very special moment, and we appreciate you guys again. So remember, share, like, subscribe, and spread the word. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Have a lovely day. Have a lovely evening.
You too. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
He's a man of courage. He talks with authority, and somehow that endeared into him. So anytime we have a program, I'll always love him to be around. Even when he was all the way in Port Harcourt, I'll always call him. Aja, are you coming? Aja will leave Port Harcourt for Abake, again Abake. And by the time I'm waking up in the morning, and I'm always like, look, this man is someone God has to thank for. And I'm so happy to see that I can even walk with his parents. And to God be the glory. To any other person, let's share that.